Jeffrey was one of the best people I knew.
Jeffrey was a great humanitarian. He really was.
Jeffrey was an extraordinary human being.
Jeffrey was a diplomat of friendship.
Jeffrey was, in every sense of the word, a true gentleman.
He was a friend.
He was always giving of his time. He was funny. He was a great putter.
Jeffrey was a real person.
Jeffrey was a great chess player.
He was a philosopher, and he was a great historian.
But Jeffrey knew more about history than anybody I know.
He was kind. He was gentle.
He was who I want to be.
Jeffrey was one of those special people who had a vision of what he wanted this world to be like. And he really wanted everybody to be treated well, to be treated respectfully. And he really had his hand in helping so many agencies help other people.
I just think that was his natural, inherent heart that made him, that ordered him to help other people.
It seemed everywhere you went, everybody knew Jeffrey. Everybody knew that they could depend on him when they needed him. He brought people to agencies, and this is the whole not-for-profit world. I can think of so many agencies who depended on him. As a Rotarian, he brought other Rotarians to help not-for-profits.
These two things are wonderful. I will add them to a very special item that's in my house, and I received it, was the friend of Juanio, the obelisk, if you will, with the light underneath. As we speak, that light is on. It's on 24 hours a day. It's the first thing I see when I come down the stairs in the morning. And now, because it's winter, it's all dark. And in that dark, that little light shines. And I will always be a friend of Juanio. That light for Juanio inside my heart will always shine. So even though I'm doing other things, I will be doing things here. I'll stay on the board and be as active as I can be. So thank you.
I also do not know what really motivated Jeffrey to become a Rotarian. No less one of the best Rotarians that I ever knew.
He made a very good Rotarian. He had all the qualifications, and we never realized how good a Rotarian he was, because he really represented all the elements of Rotary.
And it just flowed naturally from him, like the river flows downhill. It came from his heart to his lips and then to the people.
He was like a second dad to me. He was a stepdad to me. He became a grandfather to my daughter Natalie and my son William. And I had a lot of great times with Jeffrey.
Jeffrey was always fantastic. He was always a lot of fun, always upbeat, always had this quality that allowed you to be yourself, and him valuing you just to be yourself. You didn't have to impress him or anything, just have a pleasant conversation, and he was happy.
He's taught me to give of myself to others, and that's a really, I think, important trait to have as a person and as a human. And he did it not only personally but financially.
I met Jeffrey in 1996 or 1997, working at Louis on the Avenue, when if he felt that I wasn't getting him his drink fast enough, he would actually take out his cell phone, call the bar, and from the other end of the bar, as I'm swamped 3 people deep on a busy Saturday night, just ask, what's it take to get a drink down here? And that sort of sarcastic relationship developed into an intellectual one.
When I graduated high school, and the day of my graduation, God bless him, he took my mom for a 10-day trip to Europe and left me alone at my house in Waldwick. And the parties and the stories that I could tell would probably be good enough to film a movie. And for that, I and my friends are very thankful for Jeffrey. for those 10 lovely days.
It sort of started out as a game of one-upsmanship between me and him, and where one would he started off with me, "Why is there anything?" was the first question. And it ended up, I got a letter in the mail one day saying, you know, you've been selected to apply for Father Guido Sarducci University, and here's your first assignment. He would send me assignments to my house, and I'd send them to his post office box, his proud #1 Pro River post office box.
When we had a Rotary function, I didn't like to dance that much, but Jeff, he was like a ballroom dancer, and he would always come over to ask Suzanne to dance, and I was quite happy for that.
He was still in the typewriter at the time. He hadn't graduated over to a computer yet, and I still remember there were a few assignments where his E key hadn't worked anymore, and so he would actually, like anytime he had to write the letter E, would handwrite it in.
I remember defending him at one time. We had a trial, and I was defending Jeffrey because he made some kind of a funny remark as to the situation with the ladies in the club, and I was defending him, and we lost the case though.
Things from philosophy, science, physics, literature, just a lot of topics that that were very interesting.
He was always there to tell a great joke or tell a wonderful story about some area of Rockland that nobody else ever heard of, but he knew about it. He knew its history.
And after my course of study with Jeffrey, I got this diploma from Guido Sarducci University. I graduated with a high title, cum severum reservationem, with severe reservations, that he handed it over to me. But I really felt like it helped me to think of things beyond myself. And I think that sort of describes Jeffrey in a very good way, about thinking beyond oneself.
We didn't know how embedded in Rockland County and all these charities he was, because he was our family member, he was our grandfather, and that's the role he was with us.
I could listen to him forever. He would tell these crazy stories. He was also so enjoyable to be around. And he did kooky, crazy things that other people enjoyed. You know, life can be so difficult. It may look like everyone has such an easy life, but people don't. And he would bring joy. He would make people laugh and think about things in a different way. He was quite a special person to know. We were very lucky to have him in our lives.
Jeffrey knew how to handle problems and get them resolved.
He made my mom very happy, and that's really all I cared about.
He was a very special man, and he was the best of all of us.
So Jeffrey really became one of our most honored friends and a philanthropist that we could always depend on.
Grandpa was a good man. Every time you ask him a question, he'll say yes or no or give you the answer.
He made you feel that you knew him forever.
It was humbling to understand that somebody could have such a great impact on the world, and maybe we all should try and do that and strive for that.
You know, you were just a better person than knowing Jeffrey, I think.
He was just one of the best people I knew, and really, like I'm sure everybody else is, I'm really going to miss him.